Hello. Good evening. Good afternoon, ladies. Happy Wednesday. The time comes so quickly. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I can see someone. Who is that? Do you want to say hi to me? Hi, ladies. Hi. Oh, that's Asha. I should be able to bring you on the. Add you in. I'll add you in because the system sometimes it's. Hi, Asha.
Hi, Hema.
Hello. Sometimes the system doesn't let you do, so I just thought, I might capture you well in advance. Maybe you just need to put your a phone or laptop a little bit down, because when I collage that, when I stream it to YouTube, it kind of like goes haywire, so that I can see your face clearly. Just leave a little bit on the top. Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, I was able to get you just on the go immediately. I'm so pleased to have you, Asha. I'm so pleased. So you'll be just
Thanks
listening to me talk for a few minutes. How was your Wednesday? Perhaps maybe I can chat to you.
Fine.
How was your Wednesday?
It was good.
Excellent, excellent. Is it still raining in Mysore?
Nighttime it is raining. Daytime it is full of sunlight. Daytime it is full of sunlight. Nighttime suddenly it rains heavily.
Heavily, right. See, the same thing in Sydney too. From the last 2 or 3 days, it's been raining. I think it's raining throughout the world, I think. It's been erratic.
Yes.
I can see one more coming. Yeah, true. It's kind of like, they say climate is like the changing moods of a woman. It kind of like changes so quickly. Come on, ladies. Yes, I can see 2, 3. Come on. No, 2. 3 became 2. Come on, ladies. Thank you for joining in. Gayatri, thank you so much for joining in. It carries so much weightage, Gayatri, for you tuning in. I've got a doctor tuning in. It's very nice to see you, Gayatri. Thank you so much. Come on, ladies, if you just want to say hi to me, let's start rolling. It's an interesting session, an inspiring one, as well as an interesting session today. Everyone has hurdles, isn't it? Crossing the hurdles is the main aim. And, Asha has done it so well. I'll be explaining that to you in a minute. Come on, ladies, it's Wednesday. You should be rolling and rocking. Or perhaps maybe you would have had your dinner if you were Sydney sider, or perhaps maybe you would have had your lunch if you are from India. Maybe trying to take a nap. You can cut down your nap. You can do it later after the session. You have plenty of time. Come on, ladies. Thank you, Archana, for joining in. She says hi. Thank you. All right, let us start the session. Today, thanks, ladies. Welcome to Wholesome Wednesday, session number 76. Today, it's all about saris and an interesting topic, which is all about speech and hearing science, and that too in particular, hearing, which is audiology. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, and I'll be presenting Mrs. Asha GG. She's popularly known as Asha GG. GG stands for Mrs. Asha Ganjam Govindraj Shetty, and she's very, very popular in Mysore. I will be introducing her formally, but she is on the frame at the moment. The technology did work in the very first instance for some reason. Sometimes it just goes haywire, but it has worked. So which is really nice. Thank you, Chaitanya, for joining in. Thank you, Vani, for joining in. Right, okay, so let us start. This is session number 76. And coming to the normal happy birthdays, I have got 3 gorgeous ladies celebrating their birthday. Anjali Srinath, Shruti Shrikant, and Janvi Shah. Ladies, wishing you a very happy birthday, and also wishing all the ladies who had the celebration, birthday celebration from last week up until today, yesterday, wishing you ladies again a very, very happy birthday. In this instance, I would like to thank Neeta Warburg as well as Madhu Malati for tuning in every single day and wishing the ladies. I do see their acknowledgements, I do see their wishing in, I do see your likings all the way through, and hats off to you guys for following and appreciating as well as wishing all the ladies as well as appreciating the posts. Thank you so much. Now, coming to national days, today I don't have that many. I've got 3 important ones, which is, the very first one is National Tie One-On Day. Probably, when I read that, I was thinking it more about ties, but it's not about ties, it's more about aprons. Come on, ladies, if you haven't cooked tonight, or if you're cooking for your dinner, or whatever, or maybe perhaps Asha will be seeing patients, perhaps she can wear her apron. So at least celebrate by wearing an apron. That's the best way we can celebrate that. The next one is National Sardines Day, which is, sardine is a kind of fish. I'm sure there are not that many who are interested in fish. Perhaps you can see the fish swim. That's the best we can do by supporting that. And the next one is the National Jukebox Day. It's more about Americans celebrating their Thanksgiving Day, and they used to put their music on blast, and the jukebox was used, and we are celebrating for that. So if you have your music going on, perhaps this is the time you can just increase the music and listen to the songs. So that's all about the national days this week. And now coming to our audiology session. You know what? Communication is one of the most important things, and it's a skill which everyone requires to be successful in their life. Everywhere, be it, any companies, if you're working for public or, corporate companies, or even on a day-to-day basis, like even with family members, you need to communicate. If your communication is good, yes, everything is good. For example, I communicate with you all with either through a post, or saying what exactly has to be done, and you guys you ladies follow that. So it's all about communicating. So the more you communicate clearly, the more the outcome will be, and that is a pleasant one. So whatever it is, it doesn't really matter who you're talking to. Excellent communication is very, very important. And to see about what communication is and what Asha will be showing us, it is interesting to see what she will be doing later on. And before that, I will be formally introducing her. And as I told you, we are going to talk about hearing today, which is more about audiology. We've got 5 senses, which is sight, touch, smell, hearing, and taste. So all the 5 senses are so important in our life, and 1 out of the 5 is hearing. So audiologists, that is what they are called, who are specialists in hearing skills. I won't say hearing skills, of course they have to hear as well. So they are the ones who evaluate, diagnose, and treat a human being. It could be an adult or a child, or whoever has a hearing problem. So that is what Asha will be showing us, and this is one of the 5 senses which we will be talking about, right? And of course, one has to be very patient and very compassionate, very good to listen to. I think probably that is what Asha has, and that is what she's doing at the moment, and that's why she's very popular in Mysore, and that's what I have heard, right? Is it right, Asha? I've heard a lot about
yes.
your clinics. Right, okay, let me formally start off. Asha started her master's in speech and hearing from AISH, which is All India Institute of Speech and Hearing from Mysore in 1987. Saying that, Asha, I have to just do a little spiel here. I'm a bit selfish here because it's kind of like, you know, a story relating to me as well. I finished my pre-university, and then like, you know, I did not get good marks to go into medicine. And engineering was a possibility, but it was all at that time, merit wasn't considered. And, you know, it was a nominal amount, like it was to do with, you know, a donation, etc. And I was just against it. So I did not go ahead with that. Then I said, look, I'm going to do my bachelor's. And I ended up doing my bachelor's, just, you know, PCMB. I started off the pre-university with PCMB and then did my bachelor's, which is like, you know, physics, chemistry, and maths. And then I was kind of thinking, you know, what should I do? When I did my bachelor's, right, there was an option for me to go to speech and hearing because it was very new at that time. And I did to trot into speech and hearing because when I did my bachelor's, I had to kind of like, you know, prior to that, I had to kind of like, you know, go around Mysore University looking for, you know, where the departments are, etc., etc. And then anyway, I was kind of like thinking, oh, okay, wish I can get a seat here. I went to AISH, saw all the, like, you know, the whole building, and I was kind of like, you know, so excited and, you know, thought I will get. And then realized it was only 20. And obviously, I wasn't one among the 20, and I just lost hopes. And then I said, okay, whatever I have to do, I will do in my bachelor's, which was like, you know, a bachelor's in Shada Vilas College. So I completed my bachelor's. And then I thought, okay, maybe now I can trot into AISH again and do my master's with a little bit of extra help. And then anyway, that was outruled. I couldn't go in. And then I had the option of food technology as well, because like, you know, I was doing chemistry as my main. Even that one, you know, I did not pass through the exam again. That was exam as well. I did not pass through. Then I lost hopes. And I said, okay, I have to do my master's in chemistry. And that's how I ended up doing master's in chemistry. And that was the time I kind of like figured out AISH is ultra special. You only have about like 20 seats throughout the nation. And the same thing was applicable even for food technology at that time. I'm not sure like what's happened with the food technology nowadays, but it was all kind of like, you know, limited seats, and you had to be the best of the best to get into. But anyway, I'm fine. I did my master's in chemistry and it's all working good, but everything, you know, has a pathway, and you ended up doing speech and hearing, and which is good. And it's a great story, an inspirational story, which I'm really, really proud of. So Asha, after completing her pre-university, she was thinking of joining engineering just like me, but she missed with 0.25%. And as she came under general category, of course, coming from the Vaishya community, both of us, we don't belong to any special category. It's the general category. So obviously, you know, we were not able to get in, and especially Asha was not able to get in. And she was not interested in just doing her regular degree because everyone does it. So what's so special about it? And she wanted to do something different. So what happened was she just overheard one of her friends talking about speech and hearing course. And she was very intrigued. And, you know, she said, oh, what is this course? Let me go and check it out. And she didn't know anything about the course. And it wasn't popular at that time. It was absolutely not popular at that time. And she figured out that it had only 20 seats throughout India. Imagine, like, you know, one has to be that brainy to get into that course. And she lost hopes and she joined her regular bachelor's, and then which she wasn't happy at all. And there you go. After a day, she gets a call or a letter from AISH saying that there is a seat which has been allocated to her. Wow, how wonderful it is, right? Like, you know, when you have your heart set to do whatever course you want to do, and you get a letter stating, you know, you are allocated this course. You can come and join us. Wow, how exciting. And there you go. And she comes from a very conservative family, like, you know, her family, even mine, to tell you, Asha, even I had a similar problem, right? Kind of like, you know, it goes back, you know, to 30 or 32 odd years ago.
5 years.
My dad, I don't have my dad anymore, but I kind of like, you know, every time I go to the petrol station, I always think about my dad, because I was the very first one in 1980s to ride a Luna, right? Nobody used to ride Luna at that time. And I used to go to the college, which was from Mysore near Sangam Theatre through to Sharda Vilas College. And popularly, like, you know, in both Sharda Vilas and as well as Mysore University, I'm known as the Luna girl, okay, or Luna lady or Luna girl, whatever they used to call me. And I used to ride the Luna, but never used to go to the petrol pump to get the petrol filled. It was always either my brother. My brother wasn't 18 at that time, but still, you know, it was an opportunity for him to take the Luna, and he used to show off, look, I can do the Luna. And then dad used to go behind him, and he used to get the petrol filled. And, you know, that's how protective my dad was. And obviously, coming from that conservative family, I very well relate to being your brothers as well as your family members and your dad being very, very protective of you, not letting you go to Aish, which was only 5 kilometers away. For me, it would have been another extra 3 kilometers, probably I would say 8 kilometers or maybe 7 kilometers. But still, like I said, no, I have to do it. And you know what? Interestingly, dad used to cycle all the way around to the court. He used to work in the court, and I used to take my Luna. It was such a contrast, but that's how I had my dad and family being supportive of me. And it's the way we are being brought up, and it's the way the parents support us. So it matters a lot. And that's what happened to Asha. 5 kilometers at that time was like going to another city. She has explained it so well. It is exactly, so it's like going to another city. Like, you know, some from suburb to suburb. Like right now, it's expanded so much. You can definitely say it's like a city. But in those days, it wasn't that much, but still there were restrictions. And finally, parents agreed under the condition that she would be dropped as well as picked up from the university every day. And, you know, I can very much kind of like relate to this, Asha. And finally, she finished her bachelor's, and she also wanted to do her master's. And at that time for master's, the seats were only 10. From 20, it became 10. And her friends advised her, you know, not to kind of like, you know, steal that spot. If you're going to do that, I'm sure your parents will not let you further your studies. And it's just a waste of time. And plus you're losing, I mean, you're taking away one of our seats, which we would be privileged to have. But finally, you know, with this, the family was supportive, and she said, no, that's okay. I'm going to continue my master's. And she finally finished her master's. And she upskilled in so many ways. And it was the time that she got engaged, and things changed a little bit here, and she had to take a break. And she had her 2 boys, and later on, when the boys grew up, obviously, you know, she wanted to figure out whether she could kind of like, you know, do some kind of job. And then obviously being trained in speech and hearing, obviously you have to put your skills to the same extent, like, you know, what you have learned, so that she can make use of it. So she was looking for jobs in the relative field. And later on, she decided to kind of like, you know, not change her career path, but she will continue in that. And one of her friends offered her a job. Well, she was all excited, and she went to the job as well. And after like, you know, 2 or 3 days, you know, when she entered the premises, she was said, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to come in. That was a turning point for her. And she decided she has to do something, right? By that time, she had the skills, and she had the family support, and then she decided that she has to do something, and finally it took a little bit of time for her to settle down, and finally she started her own clinics, and it has grown so much. She recently started her second clinic as well, and seeing the pathway where she was in, her two boys also ended up studying the same course, which was to do with speech pathology as well as audiology. So they ended up doing the same thing, and the whole family, the husband is also in the business now. So the whole family looks after the speech and hearing business, which they have. And she also has speech therapists at work, as well as two sons, audiologists as well, who are in the practice. So she has come a long way, an inspirational story. So someone has to say no to you, and then, you know, a woman can do wonders. And that's what Asha has done. I'm so proud of you, Asha. You stood by, you took the right decision. I know it is a bit time consuming, but it was a learning curve. I kind of like, you know, said, it's really inspirational. Like, you know, you have to have the guts as well as the family support, which is very, very important. And you had that, and you took that as a challenge, and you changed everything. And now you're so well established, and I'm so privileged to have you on my platform here. This doesn't end here, you know. I was kind of like asking her for a small write-up, and then she ended up sending me pictures after pictures, and it was all to do about her hobbies. You know what? It's multitude, and you know, she knows painting, she knows decorating, she knows tailoring, she knows beadwork, she knows rangoli, she's into gardening, and heaps of other craft work. You talk about like knitting or crochet or tatting. She knows everything, you know. She's the mistress of all, and of course, master in audiology, I would say. She knows everything, you know, and she did not say no to me. So she has kindly come on to this platform, and she is going to let us know what she does in her clinics. So Asha, hope I have introduced you rightly. So now you're going to tell me where you're seated, what you're seated at, and what you do, and take us through.
Thank you, Emma, for giving me this opportunity.
Pleasure.
So I'm really happy, and I'm happy that you are one of my childhood friends. Also, you only recognized me long back when Lata told me that Emma is your friend.
Exactly. So, exactly. We linked, but we did not quite link together. It was just recently we kind of like, you know, got hooked onto, isn't it? You can hear me?
Emma, yeah. Because there was some internet problem.
Okay.
Now I'm able to hear you. So what exactly I do here? Let me explain about the year first, so that later I can tell you what exactly I do here in our clinic. Yeah. We have our two clinics, one in the center of the city and the other in the Janta Nagar TK layout, Bogadi second stage. Okay.
So everything in Mysore.
Mysore only. It is 6 kilometers from the city.
Yeah.
So our ear is a very important organ. Unless we hear, it's very difficult to understand what others are talking. Sometimes people find it difficult we say something and they hear something. And for children also, when they can't hear, it is very difficult to learn the speech. Not only hearing problem, other retardation, cleft palate, all those people will have hearing problem in children. Autism, everything will be there.
Right.
Okay. So our ear has 3 parts: external ear, mid ear, and inner ear. 1 minute. This is the external ear.
A little bit
what
up.
We can see here.
Yes.
What we can see is the external ear. Okay. Inside, there are 2 more parts: mid ear and inner ear.
Yeah.
If there is any problem in the external, we can see easily. Okay. So when the problem is there in the middle ear or inner ear, it is difficult to find out like that. From naked eyes, we can't see that. So
Right.
when we do testing,
just going back, Asha, like, if it is just the outer ear, the external ear, what kind of issues would you be having? Like it's just the outer layer, right? The outer one. You don't seem to have any issues, do you?
Yeah, no, we will have, because some people, they will not have this pinna at all. Sometimes canal is atresia, we call canal is completely closed. It is very small. Then we can't fit the hearing aid directly. Also, they need to undergo surgery, and then so when we have problem in the middle and inner ear, we need when we first we take history. What is the exact problem they have? If there is any ear discharge or anything, then they have to go to. Sometimes people, they get confused about the ear audiologist and ENT. So I'll tell you one thing. Can you see me this?
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the external ear.
Yeah.
This is the external ear, and this is the ear canal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the ear canal. Okay.
Correct.
And this is the eardrum. Now, what we say usually.
Just a little bit towards this side, like towards your left. No, right. Yeah.
So usually we say that eardrum is very delicate. Don't put the buds. If you put the buds, it may damage the eardrum.
Right.
Okay. See, and there are middle ear. There are 3 small bones: malleus, incus, and stapes. This is the smallest bone in the body.
Right.
Okay.
What is it called?
Stapes.
Okay.
Okay. And this is the inner ear. Cochlea and the nerve, auditory nerve goes from the ear to the brain. Okay. So if there is any problem in the external and middle ear, usually ENT will solve the problem.
Right.
Okay. If there is any problem in the inner ear, so then it cannot be, we can't do anything. Even ENT, they cannot do anything. For those people, we fit the hearing aid. And external and middle ear, if there's any problem, we refer to ENT doctors. They will do them. Even sometimes they advise the medicine, sometimes they advise the surgery. Even after surgery.
So you have to work closely with the ENT specialist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And if it is nerve weakness, we directly deal with that. If there is any middle ear issues or external, we refer them to the ENT. So when we do testing, audiometry and impedance audiometry, we will know exactly what the problem. We do the check in the external ear. If there is wax, sometimes there is wax problem. Yeah. For simple reason, it will be solved. So when we do audiometry testing, we will know what exact level they have the hearing problem.
Yeah. And just because you mentioned wax, do you kind of like clean wax as well, or that's
no, we don't clean wax. No.
Yeah.
That ENT people will.
The wax removal is done by the ENT specialists.
ENT doctors. ENT doctors.
Yeah.
So when we do audiometry testing and impedance audiometry, we will know exactly where the problem is. I'll just show you the instrument, what exactly I'm going to do now. Okay. This is the audiometer where we are going to do testing. This is the main instrument. Okay.
Yeah.
Main instrument we are going to test. This is a double room situation where I've asked the patient to sit there. I'll take you there. I'll show you there.
Okay. So you mean to say that the patient is already seated there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this.
There's a break there.
So
right. Yeah.
Headphone, there is a headphone is there. There is separate as right ear and left ear. Okay, we do air conduction testing, and then the bone conduction testing from both.
So with the headphones, what do you do with the headphones?
I'll show you.
Sorry, Asha. With the headphones on, what do you check?
I will demonstrate that.
Oh, okay, okay. So they are seated in a separate room, and you are just opposite to them, and your gadgets are connected.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, because it has to be soundproof, is it?
Yes.
Oh, Asha, the reason why you have
See, when I give the sound, they will respond indicating that they can hear. So at the lowest level, we are going to test at different frequencies and different intensities. From that, we will know at what level they are hearing. Okay.
Okay.
After doing,
so do you kind of like do that in the frequency, or is it like does it go via decibels?
No, at different frequencies we do it.
So decibels doesn't come into picture here, is it? Because
comes decibel also
comes. Okay.
Yeah. See here, it is changing.
At
different lowest level. Okay. And in frequency also it we are testing.
Yeah.
See, once they respond, then we plot it like this for right and left, or both we are going to do.
Right. So the machine of yours does everything. Is that correct?
Yes.
So prior to the technology being available, so how did you do that? So has this been the practice ever since?
Yes, it is ever since. For children, some people, when they less 6 months, 1 year, for those children, it is very difficult to do this audiometry testing.
Yeah.
As far as because usually
I think in Australia, like even the newborns are done, I think, I'm sure.
That is called BERA test we do, brainstem remote response audiometry. For kids, infants, we do that. We don't have that because All India Institute of Speech and JSS Institute of Speech and Hearing is there, and it is quite expensive also. And we have, so when we do audiometry testing, we will be knowing whether they have conductive loss, mixed hearing loss. Conductive is only in the external and middle ear problem.
Yeah.
When it is mixed hearing loss, middle and inner ear problem will be there. When it is purely sensory neural hearing loss, it is inner ear problem there.
Inner ear problem. Okay.
Inner ear problem. So when we do one more testing, that is impedance audiometry.
Yeah.
From this also we will know there are different types of middle ear problem. Perforation may be there in the eardrum. Stapes fixation, usually stapes fixation, that is called otosclerosis. Or middle ear fluid may be there.
So what do you do for vertigo or tinnitus, or like, you know, for those conditions, what do you do?
Usually most of the time, sometimes with the middle ear problem, tinnitus will come. Otherwise, most of the time inner ear problem will be there.
Right.
So ENT doctors will prescribe medicines. Otherwise, we have hearing aids with tinnitus masker. So we give tinnitus therapy and through the hearing aid, and that will.
So when you say you do the therapy, well, what does the therapy involve?
Tinnitus therapy means at what frequency they are hearing the tinnitus, we match with the tinnitus noise in the hearing aid. So we try to match. It is a long procedure.
Oh,
and
okay. So that you can do, or the ENT specialist has to do?
No. Audiologist has to do. Audiologist.
Oh, audiologist has to do. Okay.
Audiologist. And when there is a hearing loss, we fit with the hearing aids. Okay. So we have varieties of hearing aids in market. When I was studying, there is only was very big, and only analog instruments were available. Now we have varieties of hearing aids, analog and digital. Analog is almost has stopped, a very few. And now I'll show you different
hearing aids. I'll be interested to see them. Wow. A little bit up. Yeah.
So this is called behind the ear hearing aid. And you get a very small also in the way. See, when there is ear discharge, even after surgery, not able to correct, then we fit with the behind the ear, because this is called receiver in the canal hearing aid. So in this hearing aid, receiver comes here. So that part goes inside the canal. So if there is ear discharge, receiver will be damaged when there is discharge. In this case of hearing
but
aid,
isn't it too big, Asha? Because the ones which I have seen here, people wearing here, they are so tiny.
I will show you the small one also. Just I'm trying to explain from the
basic one. Okay.
Okay, basic one. So for profound category, this is the best one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
If it is 100 dB, 100 decibels and above, smaller one will not be. They have their own restrictions.
But do you restrictions? 70 is the approximate decibels which anyone can hear, but isn't 100 too much?
120 decibels loss is also there with children and few adults also. For them, see, this is the tiniest which you are asking.
Yeah.
This one nowadays it is ready-made. It's also available, but this is a custom product. We take ear measurement. We take ear measurement and that get the things ready done. See, from the front, it is not at all visible.
Visible, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go inside, right?
It goes inside.
No, in the sense it doesn't slip
it will not go inside, because we take measurement and fit it.
And
so
fit that in.
Even if you press it, it will not go inside.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It will be like this.
Right.
So, and this is a receiver in the canal. And certain type of hearing loss, sloping loss and all, we cannot fit the small hearing aid. So low frequency will be normal if you fit this type of hearing aid. Right. So they will have more problem than solving the problem. So this is behind the ear. Behind the ear, but receiver comes here.
Inside.
So inside. Even sometimes it is not visible.
Which choice is good? Like, does it go via the personal choice of the patient, like what they pick up, whether it's behind the ear or inside the ear?
Both. Okay. Both a type of hearing loss, and if the age people also have given the small one, it depends on the dexterity also.
Right.
If they are not able to move their fingers and everything, then they find it, because all those things, small hearing aids are very delicate. And they have to handle very carefully. If it breaks, means breakage, whole hearing aid will break. And for ear discharge also, we don't recommend smaller hearing aids, because once you put the hearing aid, if there is any ear discharge, the whole hearing aid will be damaged.
Right.
And now all these hearing aids, we have to put a cell also, battery also.
How do you clean them? That reminds me to tell you, I just lost my father-in-law 2 weeks ago. My father-in-law, for some reason, he was very reluctant to get the audiology test done, and he was very reluctant to use the hearing aid. And we insisted. He didn't used to kind of listen to us, but ultimately he said, okay, he's going to do that. But anyway, he ended up getting one, the smallest one. And I don't know who advised him. He said for cleaning, you have to put it in the microwave. And he put it in the microwave and it just blasts. And that's it. And then, he stopped using it. And he said, no, I'm not going to use it. So how do you clean?
No, I will show you. See, cleaning will be there where we have a brush and all. We have to clean.
He will be listening to me.
They should not keep the hearing aid in the micro oven. So there is a brush like this. We have to clean with this. So actually, when they explain, they must have done a mistake. We ask the patient to, this is a dehumidifier box. We ask the patient to put the hearing aid in this dehumidifier box. Because when they use the hearing aid, moisture attack will be there because of the sweating and all. So it is a tiny slot inside the tiny chip. So when the sweating and all it blocked, so definitely, so to observe that moisture, we ask the patient to put the hearing aid in the moisture box. So they have to keep only this pad in the micro oven.
That's
okay. So not
that's what yeah. Because he wouldn't let anyone do, though I have mates and everyone, he said, no, I'm going to do, the audiologist has instructed me, this is how it needs to be done. And he put it in the microwave, not realizing, and there was just a bomb.
So it's most of the time, I don't advise the patients to keep this in micro, and I tell them to keep it in the sunlight. I tell them to keep it in the sunlight.
Oh, because it's natural light which absorbs the moisture.
Because sometimes if they are mistaken and keep the hearing aid in the micro oven, entire instrument will go off.
Right.
It will burn.
It was just a waste because it exploded, so it wasn't of any use at all.
It's going to be a waste.
And then he just gave the reason, I don't want to do that because I've already wasted one. And he was so reluctant to use it. And ultimately also he did not get it. Like, we tried our level best, to get that fitted, but he wouldn't listen.
And for all the hearing aids, we need to put the batteries.
Right.
Okay, different battery sizes are available. For this, the smallest one, 10 size, and 13, 3, 1, 2, 6, and 5 batteries are there. Small means it will last for 8 to 10 days. And bigger batteries, if I use average 8 hours, it will last for 8 to 10 days. Bigger one may last for 15 to 20 days. So now we have rechargeable hearing aids also.
Oh, and, okay. So how many days did you say the batteries would last?
Smaller one, very smallest 10 size, if average 8 hours if they use, 8 days, 1 week it will come. See, if you use for more than...
so are they rechargeable batteries, or the batteries are just use and throw ones?
Use and throw batteries. And now we have got rechargeable hearing aids also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So example, I'll show you.
Yeah. And coming to the cost, Asha, how expensive or how inexpensive are these little tiny hearing aids?
Tiny hearing aids, actually, we get from 12,000, 13,000 also. Same hearing aid looks same, but 18,000, all digital hearing aids from 18,000, 25,000, 40, 1 lakh, up to 3 or 4 lakh, it is available.
Oh, wow. Okay. But the function is the same. Is it, say like a 13,000 one?
Function is entirely different. See, you get a mobile for 10,000, 5,000 also. You get for 1 lakh also. Different features are available.
But maybe for some, as long as it functions the same way, if you're able to hear, that's what matters. So
there are so many things it matters. So many things it matters. See, some people, example, age people. I'm just giving an example. Age people who sits at home. They'll say, "Nanigishte saakappa nanne ellu hogodilla madodilla." Okay, they will say like that, and it depends on their necessity. See, there was an. I'll just give you an example. Last month I had a case from US. He had loss only in 4,000 hertz and 8,000 hertz. Looking at the loss, I said, you don't require hearing aid. No, madam, I'm finding it very difficulty in meetings. I'm really missing few words. Example, SASA, all those are high frequency letters. So the SASA letters with those words is missing out. I said, okay, I will try an example. I will try and hearing it. You wait and see. If you are really finding improvement, then go with that. When I gave a trial, he said, oh, madam, it's really great. I'm feeling so comfort, I said. And for mild loss, some like if the situation is there are no sounds, noisy and all, they don't find it very difficulty. So, but the same mild loss, if they're working and attending meeting, they may find it difficulty, depending on their necessity, depending on the work thing. And some people, they find only while watching TV, they find it difficult. So, when you said all the work like same, example, I'm not giving an example, 18,000, if you take a 8-channel instrument. So maybe the noise level and the speech level, both are same. So 60 dB loss, when I took in a soundproof room, they hear very well. Okay. When but that is not a normal situation, no? When you take them outside, they say, I'm hearing so many sounds. Even we hear, but we neglect those sounds.
Correct. So but for them, it becomes too much.
Yes. As the cost increases, our speech clarity will be much better. And noise suppression will be there.
Right.
So we are different brands that have different channels. 8 channel, 12 channel, 16 channel, 32, 40, depending on the depending.
How many companies are there which does the hearing aids? I know about
more than 15, 20 companies. More than 15, 20 companies are there, and different models are available, and cost. So depending on the budget and depending on necessity, I recommend. I don't force everyone to buy the high-end products.
Correct.
We should consider. And for poor people, we do give special discounts, especially children.
That's very nice.
They come from all the way. And I get clients from all over Karnataka, even from Bangalore, Kerala.
Very nice. Very nice.
It is more of mouth to mouth. People again.
Excellent, excellent. With the advance of technology, which we have seen over the years, now, like, you know, with the smartphones and everything, people do use apps. So do they have apps and everything which they connect and they can use Bluetooth and things like that?
Yes. Nowadays, we have hearing aids like when they need not keep the mobile like this. How you dual with earphones? Or the iPods?
Correct. Okay.
Like that, they can just keep the mobile.
I think your image is stuck
to the hearing aid.
Asha, can you just kind of like, you know, do a little bit wavering? It's kind of like stuck. The screen is stuck.
No.
No. It's just frozen. Yeah.
Able to see
I can see you now move. Just kind of like hover a bit. Yeah. It's good now. So you were telling about the app. It's stuck again. It's frozen. I'm probably, I don't know. Whilst you're doing this, I'll just say hello to the ladies. There are quite a few here. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Pratima. Thank you, Pavitra. Pavitra is saying, Namaste, everyone. Proud of you, Auntie. Yeah, indeed. It's very, you know, being proud, isn't it? Yes. Yes, I'll say hi to the others later on. Now it's okay. It's kind of like frozen for some reason. Yes. Now I can see your movement. Yes, it's good now.
Okay.
So you were talking about the apps.
Yeah. In the apps, and one more thing now, some of the hearing aids directly connect to the hearing aids. We can stream whatever we are talking. It streams to the hearing aid. So keeping the mobile on the table, they can move around, they can hear when somebody talks to them over the telephone. And we have apps so that they can change the programs, they can increase or decrease the volume. And we have gadgets so that we can connect it to the TV, directly streams to the hearing aid.
Yeah.
If you keep
it's
the volume
still frozen, Asha. It's kind of, it comes in and again it goes. Yeah, I can see your movement now, but still it comes and goes. It's kind of like frozen, semi-frozen.
Internet problem is there.
Oh.
Hotspot on Vaibhav? 1 minute, Emma. Sorry for the
No, that's okay. While you're doing that, I'll just say hello to a few here. Shruti, thank you for joining in. Gayatri, thank you. Archana, thank you. Vani, thank you. Chaitanya, thank you. Sunita Tige, thank you. Geeta, thank you. Geeta Nagraj, thank you. Rachna, thank you. Leela, thank you. Parimala, thank you. Shubha, thank you. Pavitra, thank you. Pratima, thank you. Pooja, thank you. Gauri, thank you. Mradula, thank you. Pallavi, thank you. Ushaji, namaste auntie. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. She's saying hi both. My mom is watching. Hi mom. Honey Singh is watching. Thank you. Honey, it's your added one, Asha. Thank you so much for adding all your friends. Usha, thank you. Rupa, thank you. Lata Suresh, thank you. Shobha Guru Dikshit, thank you. Amitara, thank you. Divya, thank you. Malini, thank you. Ushaji, thank you. Saying Hema dear. Ratan, thank you. Nandini, thank you. Padma, thank you. Usha ji saying good question. I'm not sure which one she's saying to, because we have crossed that. Deepa, thank you. Lipika, thank you. Pratima saying informative. Ratan saying yes, still it's frozen. It's good now, not clear. Yeah, I can see the movement. I think it's pretty okay now. Yes, we were talking about the apps. Can we continue with the apps?
Emma, is it okay now? Can you hear me?
Yes, it's okay.
Sorry for the there was some internet connection.
That's absolutely fine. So I kind of like said hello to everyone there. Yeah. So we were talking about the apps. Tell me about that. I'm more inquisitive to know how the apps work and the smart, like using your smartphone.
We have for different companies, different apps will be available. Instead of changing the volume control in the hearing aid, they can do everything in the app itself. And we have different programs in the hearing aids. Example, one is universal program. So just to talk to in general, that is enough. And noisy environment will be there when they go outside. So if they just change the button in the app or in the hearing aid, so background noise reduction will be there. For TV and all, they need a little.
So they can control the depth of it, like and like the tone or the volume of it by using the app.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And we can give different programs.
How many of your people use the app? Like, is everyone kind of like happy using the app, or do they say it's
not
too complicated?
Everyone? Maybe 60 to 70%.
Yeah, or maybe the younger generation. When I say younger generation, maybe like of our generation. Obviously, probably they wouldn't have reached to the hearing problem yet. You never know, isn't it? It's frozen again. Hello, Vasanta Auntie. Thank you for joining in. Hi, Anjali. Thank you for joining in. Asha is having some problems with the technology at the end. She's almost finished. Let me add you again. I can't. I can't add you, Asha, because I can't. Let me see whether I can bring you again. I have to go back to the very first one, wherein I was able to bring you on the camera. Sorry, ladies. Sometimes it's the technology, isn't it? I don't know, Asha, I'm not sure whether you're using a different phone or whatever, but it says, what it says is your audience for this live video will not be visible because they have not installed the Facebook Live app. That's all incorrect. So I don't know what the system is saying. It says can't bring Asha onto the camera. But I think we kind of like, wrapped up quite a few of the issues about hearing and hearing aids. In case if she can't join in, I think we kind of like have covered it all. And ladies, thank you so much for joining in. And I did not mention about my sari today, right? Though it's all about saris. Today's sari is a pure cotton sari. It's a Bengal tant sari. Tant saris are nothing but hand-woven saris, and they are either from Bangladesh or West Bengal or Assam or Tripura. Right, it was during the time of partition. It was in like 1947, when the partition happened. There were weavers from Bangladesh who literally migrated across to West Bengal. And it is that population who are so well aware of weaving these handloom tant saris. And they are popularly known as Bengal tant sari. And they are so lightweight, and it's a sheer pleasure to wear this. And it seems that the cotton which is grown in those places are of, the maximum and the supreme quality of cotton. And it's quite lustrous and shiny, and as well as it's got that strength in it. And the weavers love weaving cotton saris. And that's why you see a lot of Bengal, which are, more kind of like, handloom as well as cotton. So this is my Bengal tant sari. Sorry, Asha is here saying, sorry. Asha, I think we have wrapped up quite nicely here. Let me see whether there is another option for me. No, unfortunately, it's not letting me add you. Oh, yeah. No, it says the live video audience is not available. Gosh. That's okay, Asha. We have tried and covered as much as we can. It was just the last minute wrap up which we were doing. I would have probably asked her a question. Why? It was a simple question, and I probably might be able to answer as well. Why do always people, like, when the phone rings, we always hold our phones to our left ear? I want to answer that question. People listening, there are quite a few people listening. Put your answers down in the message and let me know what the answer is. I'll respond to that in one of my posts. So when the phone rings, you always tend to put your phone onto your left ear. This is my left side. And you normally don't go to your right ear. So give me the reason for that one. All right? Okay. I wanted to say Hema and Asha signing off. Unfortunately, Asha is not able to join. But Hema will be signing off. Thank you, ladies, for listening. Stay tuned for next week, a fantastic event. Don't miss it. So I will see you all next week, same time. Till then, bye for now. Thank you very much for joining in. Bye, ladies.